Hi guys, welcome back to Random Doctor Talks, where we talk about all things medicine and all things life. I'm Dr. Hope, and today we're talking about things your doctor won't tell you. So here I am telling you. So I have a list of things and I'll just talk about them kidogo too. So the first thing is, as doctors, we know when you're lying, by the way, just in case you didn't know, we know when you're lying. We know when you said that you took your medication today, but you didn't. We know when you say that you're not on drugs, you haven't drunk. We are aware. We know these things. There are signs that we look at that will indicate that it's a lie. So please don't lie to your doctors. Okay, that's the first one. Then the second one is we don't know everything. We are human. Remember that. Even our brains have maximum capacity. So I saw this tweet. Was it a tweet on I think last week, someone was talking about that if your doctor steps out in the middle of the consultation, actually they've gone to Google something. And what's wrong with that, by the way? I don't think there's a problem with that, but I think we just need to understand that as doctors, we don't know everything and we won't tell you that we don't know. We'll just go and consult. So we're either consulting a senior person or we're consulting Medscape, which is it's a resource center for all things medicine, or we will just reach out to our notes, the notes we took on our phone. Anyway, we don't know everything, so we just need to consult when we're not sure about something, just so that we're giving you the most accurate information. And this reminds me that this time I had a patient, when I used to work in a hospital, I had a patient who came in, he was asthmatic, and he had a change of his inhaler. So we're used to the kawaida inhalers, like the Ventolin where you press and inhale. So now he came with a different one, and I wasn't very well versed with how to use this one. And by the way, I just told him, I think it's just because he was like a guka, like an elderly person. They're very understanding, very gentle. But I just told him, I'm not sure how to use it, but I can check. Let's just watch a YouTube video of how to use it. Imagine we searched through the YouTube video. We're just watching it on my phone like that. We looked at the process, and then I told him, okay, fine. So now let's try. Then we tried it. He learned how to use it. And that was it. And he was very comfortable with it. He was like, thank you for checking. Thank you for showing me. So doctors, please, if you're not sure, consult. But patients, please understand that as doctors, we don't know everything. Then the next point is, someone said, Ati doctors won't tell you the first appointment of the day is the best. Like if you're number one on their list. I don't agree with that one, just because if you're the first patient, most of the time, you're trying to put on the computer, you're trying to get the system updated, and it'll embarrass you. That's the time everything will decide to be faulty. So for me, the first appointment is not my best, but of course, I wouldn't tell you that it's the first consultation and things are just not working the way they're supposed to work. But you might just see it. Then the next one is, doctors won't tell you that some treatments are not covered by your insurance may be cheaper. Sometimes insurances have an understanding with healthcare providers, so they agree on everything. So on the consultation price, on the medication price, on the service price. So then they have a fixed price that they've agreed on with the hospital, but you might find that outside your insurance, there's another option that might be cheaper. But we can't tell you that because your insurance is paying. So yeah. Then something else is generic drugs are cheaper and they are effective. I know sometimes you're normally just looking at that Mara Moja, will it work? Versus the Cipladon that's how much. Yes, Mara Moja will work. It'll do the same pain relief that Cipladon will do. So your generic medication is as effective as the trade or the branded medication. So don't feel shy if you don't want to spend so much money on buying the branded or trade name medication. Feel free to use generic medication that has been prescribed by your doctor. Okay. Then another point is, as doctors, we don't guess. We don't guess things, and that's why even I mentioned we step out to confirm something, or we refer to a senior person or to Google or just a reference. And something else that you'll need to know is we use evidence-based science. So if there's something, they will say, oh, a remedy, or there's a home remedy, or this treatment that my friend told me about. According to us doctors, there's a way that we are taught and there's science that we use that has to be approved. If it's not approved, then we don't guess, we don't recommend it. Not to say that it's not effective. It's just that according to our ethics, we use evidence-based science. Then something else is we get frustrated if you're not there for the right reasons. How do I place this? I had an example. So we won't tell you we are frustrated, but we are frustrated. So like where I used to work, there was a high elderly population, and what would happen is people would just bring their parents to the hospital for hospice care, like during Christmas season or during what do you call it? The festive season. People don't want to be taking care of like their grandparents because they're sickly, they're elderly. So they would just bring them to the hospital, and literally they have no complaint. The only thing is they're refusing to eat. Most of the time the patient is not refusing to eat. They just need a bit more care, a bit more patience for them to be fed. So that is one of the instances where I would say you're there for the wrong reasons, and we don't take that lightly. We don't appreciate that. So if you're not there for the right reasons, we do get frustrated. There are other examples I could give, but I think that's the one that I'm going to use for now. Okay. Something else is we may redirect you. So I think I just need to explain, because the number of times I'm asked this question, what specialty are you in? So this is how it goes. Medical doctor, you finish your med school, you go to internship. When you're in internship, you finish it and you go through all the departments. So you'll be in surgery, you'll be in what we call general practice, you'll be in obstetrics, just getting a feel of everything. After that, you'll get licensed and you are a GP, you're a general practitioner. Then after that, you can specialize. You specialize into now a clinical field or an unclinical field. A clinical field is now like the surgery. You can be a psychiatrist. You can be an ophthalmologist. You can be not a dentist. That's a whole different thing. You can be what's this other one? An ENT specialist. Now that's when you specialize. So you go do a master's for that. Then also an unclinical, like people in public health. That's also a specialty that you do a master's for. If you don't do a master's, then you're just a general practitioner. Sawa. So if I am a general practitioner and something is outside my scope, I will redirect you. So I will explain why I'm redirecting you, but you might not understand, because most of the time people think that we are a one-stop shop. You go to a GP and they will fix everything. So they don't understand why you're referring them. But we will refer you for assistance at the very level you may need, which might be a specialty. Okay. Then the next point is surgeons per se can refuse to operate you. Why they can operate on you? Why they can refuse is either you don't fit the criteria for surgery, or the surgery is not going to be of benefit to you. So we get so many patients who, like, let's say your relative or your person was involved in an accident and now they're in the hospital. They have broken bones, they have to do what. But then you're wondering, why are you not taking my person to surgery? I mean, to fix whatever is happening. There's so many other things. You may take this person to surgery and then the anesthesia is what finishes them, just because they had so many other problems going on that needed to be sorted beforehand. They needed to be stabilized and then they could go to surgery. For other cases, it might be that the surgery might not, like in cancer, the cancer might have spread too far that even the surgery won't help. So yes, a surgeon can decline to have the surgery done to you or for you. Or yeah, another reason they can also decline is maybe they have not yet what's the word? The experience. Maybe they have not yet reached that level of experience that they're comfortable to do that surgery. So remember, just the way you have 1 year of work experience, the same way the surgeon can just have finished school, so he has 1 year of work experience, and then there's someone who has been in surgery for like 20 years. So this 1 year experienced surgeon can decline to do that surgery, but can refer you to someone who is more experienced and can do that surgery. So there are times that the surgery can be declined, or the health service can be declined by the healthcare practitioner, but with reason. Yes. Something else that doctors won't tell you is, guys, we don't understand your insurance. You're the only one who understands your insurance. You will come with copay, Mara, you come with deductibles, their exclusions. We don't understand. We don't know your policies. You're the one who knows your policy best. So please understand your policy and then come and explain it to us. We don't understand insurance. Hey, I feel like once you start going to insurance, you just get lost. So it's easier if you understand your policy, and once you come to the doctor, you know what your inclusions versus your exclusions are. You know what, if your insurance needs copay, you know if your insurance does not offer selected facility as a healthcare provider to offer that service. You're the one who knows. Sawa sawa. But we won't tell you that we don't know. We'll just tell you, please kindly go find out from the claims department. Okay. Something else we won't tell you is we have to hold our religious beliefs, just because we're not supposed to influence our decision making based on religion. Remember, I said as doctors, we make our decisions based on evidence-based science. But I'm sure that one you knew about, but we just won't tell you. Okay. Something else is I don't know why this one was. I got this from random places, but I said this on a TV, don't disclose our age. That's true. And some people will ask you, especially for young doctors, you're asked so many times, are you sure you finished med school? How old are you? Are you sure you're certified or licensed to practice? You look a bit young. How old are you? Hey, we're not going to tell you our age. Yeah, so just to know that. But we are licensed doctors. Okay, then something else we don't tell you is we'll give you the shortest recovery time possible. But with medicine, you have to notice that most things are ranges. So we'll start that you'll recover within 2 to 3 weeks. So we'll start with the shortest recovery time. And remember, people are different. You might take 2 weeks to heal. Someone else might take 3 weeks, just because of a few changes in your body and even some complications that might happen here or there. But we tend to give you the shortest recovery time possible, but it's a range. So if you go to a doctor and you need a recovery time, tell them to give you a range and tell them to give you the shortest time versus the longest time possible. And I notice people don't really ask about complications. Can you guys ask about complications so that you understand the risks, and when something happens, you understand why it's happening? Sawa sawa. Thank you. Okay. And then something else we don't tell you is that, okay, I saw this one, and I'm sure this one applies to the US. So they say that July is potentially the most dangerous month in a hospital, just because in July they get new interns. And remember, an intern is someone who's coming from school, so they don't really have the know-how, or they're not even very confident in their ability to practice medicine at that point. So there are many mishaps that may happen, but remember, they're always supervised. So it's not like they're just running around the hospital helter-skelter and doing everything and whatever they want. No, they're always supervised. There's always a senior who's attached to them and who mans their every move. So for us, when do we get interns? Well, before, in the 5-year system, interns used to be dispatched at the same time. So like every hospital would get interns in January. Now it's different. Some get in January, others get in December, others get in the middle of the year, just because universities finish their calendar year at different times and they graduate at different times of the year. But I don't think that is a thing for us, just because interns are the backbone. As Dr. Mokera said, the time she was interviewed on NTV, she made it clear that interns are the backbones, especially of the public facilities that we have around. They man those facilities. They're the ones who will be doing many of the surgeries, the minor surgeries that they can handle, things like C-sections, things like just the small surgeries. They're the ones who will be doing those things. And they also see all the patients in the medical ward, in the pediatric ward. They literally man the hospital. So I don't think that applies to us. But I mean, with every intern, there's the aspect of being new to something. So things might happen here and there, but they're supervised. Remember, they're supervised. Then something else is, if you're in a teaching hospital, let me make reference, Kenyatta Teaching and Referral Hospital, your illness will be used as a learning opportunity every instance, including surgery. But remember, there's always a senior attached to the students who are around you or who are managing you. So in Kenyatta, we used to have patients who would be there and they refuse, they don't want to be examined or seen by a student. But the consultants would always tell them, what's the name of this hospital? Kenyatta Teaching and Referral Hospital. So they just have to oblige, because I mean, this is a place where students come to learn so that they're able to practice the medicine here and also in other facilities. So just know that if you go to a teaching hospital, you will be used as a learning opportunity in the ward and even in theater. And your consent for theater, of course, your consent will be taken, but just have that in mind. Okay. Then another point is, we won't tell you this, but treatment is not always the answer. And sometimes you need to focus on other modalities of medicine and health. These days, there's a lot of talk about preventative medicine. So that is something that will come out in the future now and even as we progress in the future. So it's not every time that you're sick or you have something, or you have a backache, you must be on pain medication. You have this, you have to take medication. No, sometimes you can prevent and you can preempt these things and can prevent them from happening. And also there are other modalities of treatment as opposed to just medication. There's the physiotherapy, that is still part of medicine. The chiropractors, that can also offer a solution to our medical problems. Then something else is, how many do I have more? I have 5 left. Doctors will never tell you, but for a certain doctor, you as a patient with your condition, this might be the first time they're seeing that condition. So it may be the first time for this doctor to manage this condition, to see this condition, or to see this case. But they won't tell you. So we keep a straight face, a brave face, because remember, we learned these things in school, but we just haven't gotten the opportunity to apply them. So for a doctor, it might be the first time they're seeing that case. Have that in mind. Then something else is, as doctors, we never give definite diagnosis unless we are sure. And I'm sure that one you've seen, a doctor will always be, it's either this or that, until they're 100% sure, especially for things like cancers. We have to take a piece of your nyama, it's called a biopsy. It has to be tested and, studied to confirm that that's the actual diagnosis. Until then, we will give either it can be this, it can be that. But we won't tell you that we are not at 100% sure. We'll just tell you that it's a possibility. But until we confirm the diagnosis, we'll work with this. Then we're almost at the end, guys. 4 more. Doctors won't tell you, but we recommend you guys to our friends. Remember, our friends, our peers are the specialists that are around. So if I'm a GP and you're expectant and you need a gyna, I'll recommend you to my friend who's a gyna. If you need to see a surgeon, I'll recommend you to my friend who's a surgeon. And you're not getting commission per se or anything. It's just that you need the service. I have a friend. Here you go. So yeah, that's something to know, but we'll never tell you. And then something else is, doctors will never tell you this, but imagine, guys, we think about you after you leave. Like even after we've served you, we think about it. Especially for me, let me say, people I think about a lot are kids, babies. I really think about it, especially if I injected you or I took a blood sample. I'm like, I hope the baby is not bleeding. I hope she's not in pain. I hope the baby is doing well. Even for like the elder, I don't know, extremes of age. I just have so much empathy for extremes of age. Not that I don't care about like us, mid-age people. It's just that they're normally just so fragile and they just have a space in my heart, hapo kidogo. So I really think about them like once they've left, and I usually want to like follow up and be like, okay, so how was this? But sometimes you don't have that opportunity. But yes, we think about you when you leave the room. Then something else is, I don't know how to put this on. Guys, we'll never tell you this unless we have to. But to us, every patient is a VIP, a very important person. So having said this, I just want to put it out there that when you go to a hospital, please, you're not more important than the person next to you. People who like cutting lines, people who like saying you're a prominent, not you're a prominent person, but you have status compared to someone else. You want to cut the queue. You want to be attended to faster. Unless there's a VIP or an express line that deals with like VIP clients, if you come to a hospital that doesn't have that, every client is as important as you. So you will be served according to the time that you came. So please, guys, let's just act accordingly. Sometimes we find patients who are very, very, very entitled. And I think we just forget that the person next to you is also sick. Like, it's not that you're sicker, but we normally do triage. Triage, we identify who is more of an emergent case. So that's the only time someone can cut the queue. Like if someone collapses here and you're stable, but you came before the person who's collapsed, we'll have to attend to the person who's collapsed. So that's how we look at VIPs in hospitals. So we won't say a very important person, but we'll say a very critical person or an emergent case. So please, guys, even as you go to hospital, please understand that that is how we work, and we work for the good of our patients. It's not that we're having our own interests at heart. No. We just want to serve everyone according to how they came and just what they deserve. Okay? Yes. Then something else, which is, I have 3 more points. As doctors, what we won't tell you is that prioritizing your health is not just through lifestyle changes or medication or whatever, there's something that we really don't tell you. It's also financial responsibility. Guys, if you have the opportunity to have insurance, please get insurance, because let me tell you, these hospital bills will deplete your accounts faster than you think. Hey. Even NHIF is good, by the way, especially because if you're a civil servant, NHIF for civil servants, very good. Very, very good. But if you're not able to have any form of insurance, NHIF is the most basic and it can take you a long way. So please, financial literacy in terms of health is very important. And as doctors, we won't tell you that, but I'm telling you today. So please, guys, if you're able to get health insurance, please do it now, because you'll thank me later. When you have that bill to pay, but your insurance is like, have a seat, relax. We have the capacity. You'll be like, I'm really glad I did that. Okay. Then the second last one is, actually, I'm done. Oh, that was the last one. So yes, please, if there's something to take away from this is insurance, very important, and all our patients are very important people to us. So having said that, this is the end of the video. Be sure to like, be sure to comment, be sure to share, be sure to subscribe. Hey, these things are becoming mini. Is there any other? And tell a friend to tell a friend. Until then, bye.
And cut.